1 degree outside weather network Thursday insights. We're going to look at the weekend. We're going to look at the Friday heat and storm chance coming up. Danielle's been with you a lot of the week. Nice to be back with you. I'm meteorologist Matt Noyes. Look, I've been working a lot on the private and custom forecast side of what we do. I don't know if you heard, but yesterday, New Hampshire State Parks announced that we've partnered with them, providing rip current forecasts in hyper-focused detail in the short term and out to 5 days for Hampton Beach State Park. Actually, one of our kids is at Hampton Beach today. So we certainly have a lot invested in that, and we thank New Hampshire State Parks for that partnership. And this is just one of the ways our team is so happy to be making a direct difference in addition to this public-facing product that you're so kind to support by watching us on the regular. So strong storms are coming in for some of us Friday. We're going to talk about that in this video, get the most out of our app during storm days. I think a lot of you are using it. I'm not sure we're all using it to the best that we could. So I'm going to go over that real quick. Heat's going to peak on Friday. We'll take a look at that, and some wildfire smoke actually comes into the sky this upcoming weekend. So Friday, high temperatures generally going to be running 80s and 90s for almost a lot of the country, but certainly here in New England, that blue line's a cold front that comes into play as it slices into the heat and humidity. It touches off thunderstorms. Now, mostly the wind is going to be moving fast enough that we will not be looking at a widespread flash flood threat, but you do have at least a damaging wind gust threat, and that is across the area. Now, it's isolated, but the threat from the Storms Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma highlights a lot of New England, with the exception maybe of the far north country. In terms of excessive rainfall and the chance for some flash flooding, that's actually highest in the Midwest for tomorrow. Here at home in northern New England, that is a possibility because we're a little bit more waterlogged in the north country. Farther south, it's going to pour. I mean, you may have some downpours. It could drop over an inch of rain, but it looks like they keep moving fast enough that you're probably not talking about any type of widespread flash flood threat the way it looks right now. And you can see, I don't know that these amounts will be exactly perfect because, of course, it depends on where the storms exactly hit. But the idea here is that if you get hit head on with a thunderstorm, you've got over an inch of rain that comes in a short period of time. Let's talk more about using the app very quickly here, just to make sure that you're getting everything you can out of it. It's totally free. It's 5 stars. If you don't have it, you want to search App Store or Google Play, 1 degree outside weather, all right? But when you get it, couple things to do. If you haven't been to our app homepage yet, app.onedegreeoutside.com, you'll find lots of details on all this and more, including international use for the app there. You want to make sure, though, that when you get it, location and notifications are turned on. Danielle and I have built this app with the app development team. We are not saving your information for anything. The only thing that we keep track of is geography and where you are. So this is for alerting. This is to make sure you get all the right push notifications. Search and save your town in the list. Once you do that, the 3 dots next to your town that's saved in the list, make sure you've got enable notifications. Little bell icon comes on. Pinpoint. If you do that, you can pinch and zoom right to your yard. And then when you've done that, hit done in the upper right corner. And after that, you can do nickname. And you can call it home, call it school, call it whatever you want to call it. There is a send to us tab at the bottom of the app. Just a reminder, during storms, we always want you to be safe. You send us pictures and reports on that send to us tab. It comes to us, but we immediately relay it to the National Weather Service Skywarn Spotter Network so that you are helping to advise the warnings, you're helping to advise verification of the warnings, and helping to keep others safe by sharing it in that Send to Us tab, all right? In terms of timing on the storms tomorrow, again, you're going to get an early start across the North Country, 9 a.m. You're already into it. It comes in early in the morning across the north. Farther south waits till later, and that's why you heat back up again. So it's hot today. It's hot on Friday. Into the 90s we go. Earlier start on storms than we're used to. It's possible we get a little what we call prefrontal trough, a little disturbance out ahead of the front that may touch off an isolated storm as soon as midday into the early afternoon, particularly in the Worcester Hills where you get some different heating because of the hills and valleys. That may touch something off for us as it comes on by. We'll watch the Maine seacoast as soon as midday as well. Once we get into the afternoon, we do expect another line to develop. I think probably the main focus, our in-house 1 degree outside prediction system that we built here that looks at data from across the world, picks the best performing stuff, really focuses on 3 to 5 p.m. for one time frame from, let's say, southern New Hampshire through southern New England. And then the next time, maybe one last gasp between about 6 and 8. The one between 6 and 8 would not be as big of a deal the way it looks right now. This is not like some of the recent events where a lot of it's focused on the evening. In fact, the deeper into the evening you go, notice by 11 p.m. we've cleared the sky out in northern New England. This is a cold front. It brings in cooler, drier air that's going to be very comfortable for us on Saturday. Maybe a fair weather cloud could produce a sprinkle in the afternoon in some of the hills of western New England on Saturday, and that's about it. One thing I will say for Saturday, though, as high pressure builds in, it brings the winds down from Canada there'll be wildfire smoke in that. So on Saturday, certainly in northern New England, but all of us kind of susceptible to some of the wildfire smoke. And actually in the mountains, some of it may come all the way down to surface level. I think in southern New England, it's mostly elevated, but we're going to keep an eye on exact elevation on that wildfire smoke for Saturday. Then for Sunday, here comes the next disturbance. I don't want to make promises on Sunday, and here's why I say that. I think the morning's fine. I think we can tell you that 8, 9, 10 o'clock, youth sports in the morning, services, masses in the morning, etc. I think you're probably good. Once we start getting to midday on, it's going to be really important and hinge entirely on the track of this surface low that's coming with the disturbance. It looks right now like we certainly develop showers across northern New England, and we may get what's called warm sectored in southern New England, which means that you get showers and storms with breaks between them, but then later in the day, they could be on the strong side. The only thing that I kind of leave the door open to is if this disturbance dives a little bit farther south, northern New England actually ends up kind of dry on Sunday, and most of it's focused in central and southern New England. It wouldn't be as intense, but it would be a little bit longer drawn out. Okay, so I'm thinking that northern New England ends up with the longest duration, southern New England maybe the most intensity, but very honest, very transparent, very open that we have to nail down the details on that. And that's something we'll continue to do both here and, of course, in our app over the course of the next couple of days. So highs on Friday. Look, we're into the 90s in a lot of spots. Maybe the hilly terrain gets less. Northern New England ends up not quite as hot either, but many of us in central and southern New England go 90s. And so this begs questions about heat and about statistics of heat, right? The daily record to beat on Friday in Boston, 96 degrees, set way back in 1882. Our forecast is between 96 and 98 degrees. I do think the fact that storms start a little sooner than usual during the course of perhaps that mid-afternoon period may trim back a little bit of where we could be. We were thinking definitely 98, and that's like, all right, if the storms come in early, maybe 96, somewhere thereabouts. We've had 12 90-plus days so far. The record, by the way, is 30. We've been hearing that question from you. And the last time we hit 100 two times in a year was way back in 1952. Of course, the dew point is going to be a big part of this as well. Your dew point temperature is going to be running close to 70, so really soupy air creates that feels like forecast Friday of 100 and 105. We've gone over in these videos, and I won't belabor the point, taking care of the body. We may put something short out on social media to remind folks about that. Hydration, sunscreen, light color, lightweight clothing, that type of thing. You know it by now if you watch our videos a lot. Friday night, we start to bring in the newer air. There's that beautiful, splendid day on Saturday. Some fair weather clouds with maybe that sprinkle in the hilly terrain of western New England. Saturday night, the clouds begin to increase. Low temperatures in the 60s. It can be a windows open night. But as we get into Sunday, again, this is where we're going to watch exactly where things line up. We're thinking northern New England gets the most showers. Southern New England probably doesn't get into them until as we get to the midday or afternoon. It may be thunderstorms. But again, I'd like to kind of nail down the timing more definitively for you as we get closer to that. Monday, expect to find temperatures rebounding back to the 90s for a number of us again. Just a reminder that you can always find the latest with a membership, and it's not that we update sooner, it's that we give more exclusive content. Our podcast, for example, to the Inside Track, the 14-day dew point and feels like forecast on Fuel the Forecast on up, the enthusiast level for our beach and boating enthusiasts and for our golf enthusiasts, membership.onedegreeoutside.com. Actually, there's something that I've been working on the project over the last couple of weeks behind the scenes. That's partly why you haven't seen me too. That we're going to be launching soon, and we'll give early access to our Patreon members and then open it up to everybody after that. But that's a little tease for you. All right, that's the way it looks for now. Hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for making 1 Degree Outside part of your daily weather routine. We'll see you with the beach and boating update later on, and of course, we'll see you again tomorrow morning at the latest.